Let's talk about integrity for a moment. Not the moral kind, the kind that shows up when your yes actually means yes and your no means no. But here's the truth: you can't live in alignment if your words keep writing checks your energy cannot cash. Hello, everyone. My name is Uche Maple, and welcome to the Women Who Lead Network, where we talk about everything entrepreneurship, leadership in the workforce, in the workplace, and living a purpose driven life. So, what happens when your yes means yes and your no means no? All right, so let me give you an example. A few years ago, I was in a role that looked great on paper, good title, good pay, and working with phenomenal people. But underneath, the reality was that I was stretched very thin in my workload. I was saying yes to every meeting, every project, every extra request, because I really didn't want to seem ungrateful. How many of us out there could feel that way? All right, make sure it's not just me. And one day I agreed to a last minute meeting where I was presenting slides on a topic that wasn't even mine, y'all. I was already behind on my own work. I was tired. I was distracted. I was frustrated. But I went ahead and smiled and said, yeah, you know what? I'll do this. And as I stood there presenting those slides on a topic that I didn't know, something hit me in that moment. One, I wasn't leading, I was performing for approval, performing for validation, performing for belonging. And that cost was my peace. That day, I learned a hard truth. A yes that is not in aligned is just a delayed no. When you say yes out of fear of judgment, fear of missing out, fear of conflict, you're not being kind. You're being dishonest with yourself. I mean, is it just me? How many of us can relate to that? And dishonesty doesn't build trust, not with others, and definitely not with you. Living in alignment means your decisions starts matching your truth. It means you stop negotiating your boundaries. Every time someone else has an expectation, your peace becomes your metric. How many of us, when we go to bed at night, we feel cluttered? It's a lot of things going on. And it is just everything. But when you can go to bed every night, and the goal is to go to bed every night with an internal peace, that is your metric. Your clarity becomes your compass. And your no, that word you use to whisper with guilt, becomes the very thing that sets you free. Here's how to start practicing this type of integrity in your everyday life. One, check your motive before you commit. Ask yourself, am I agreeing out of alignment or obligation? If you want to know what I'm talking about, go check my video before this where I talk into detail what the difference is between alignment and obligation. Go check that video out. If it's obligation, you pause. You owe yourself that moment of what? Honesty. The second thing is match your language with your limits. Stop saying I'll try when you know you don't. Us always saying I'll try this when we're like, I'm not gonna really do that. Stop saying it's fine when it's not. I am a habitual person on this. And to be honest with you, I didn't know I did this until one of my coworkers, he was like, quit saying it's fine. It's not fine, Uche. So that was a moment of clarity for me. And then also say what you mean kindly, but clearly, professionally. Okay. The next thing is communicate your no with confidence. You don't have to over-explain or apologize. And here's the way: when someone is asking you to do something, that this is how you can say it respectfully, professionally. At this moment, that doesn't align with my priorities. And if I were to do something like this, I will have to remove this off my plate or delegate it to someone else. Simple, respectful, complete. When you start honoring your yes and your no, people around you may react. They'll notice the difference. I'm saying this because you need to be aware of this. Some will respect it and others might not. But here's the key, that's okay. Because boundaries don't push the right people away, they make room for them. Every time you practice this, you're telling myself, my inner peace matters, my word matters, my energy matters. Letting your yes mean yes and your no means no. It's not just about time management, y'all. It's about trust. Because every boundary you honor strengthens your belief that you can rely on what? Yourself. And that's the foundation of alignment. Confidence built on clarity. So this week, here's your challenge. Before you agree to anything, pause. Ask yourself, does this feel aligned or does this feel heavy? If it's heavy, it's a no. If it's peaceful internally, it's a yes. That's the simplest compass you ever need. Because when your yes means yes and your no means no, you don't just manage your life, you lead it. This is how alignment becomes action and how action becomes authority. And that's where your next season begins. Be sure to like and comment, and thanks for listening. I'll see you next time.